Hey guys, got a funny one. I'm probably going to keep these as like their own separate series, which I'll put the story time uh, like kind of front tag, and then for those who enjoy them, we'll do the story time one separate, and then for any other ideas I might have, I'll try and title them appropriately. So as you're shopping around the channel, if you see anything that you're interested in, hopefully I'll make it more clear. But I had a funny story that someone reminded me of. And to get right into it, when my wife was in cosmetology school, she had to do a string of like practice haircuts. And for a time, I was sporting everything under the sun. I was definitely a guinea pig during that kind of time, and it was really funny because I could change up my look, or I could try something out, or she could, maybe she needed to practice a certain type of haircut. And so I was more than willing to be like, oh well, let's take a crack at it. And even if I didn't like it, when she got home, we would make adjustments to something until at least the next one. And then she had a bunch of people who volunteered for that. And so one of them was my good friend at the time. And what happened was, if it got too creative, or if something was there, she would offer to do haircuts or adjustments, for free at home. And so it's still kind of counted as a form of practice, but she was getting her kind of her feet under her. And so I'll never forget this story, and hopefully I tell it to the best of my ability. But one of my friends came over, got a haircut. It was great catching up with him, and his hair is dark, coarse, and like curly, wavy, whereas mine is a little bit different. And so I don't want to mess it up, but I believe he's Hispanic or half Hispanic. And so they're different. If you don't know, they're different types of hair, but there is such thing as like coarse and curly, and and that'll come into the story here in a minute. And so I was catching up with him, thought nothing of it. And when you go to the barber shop or when you go somewhere, they dress you with a cape to make sure you don't get anything on your neck. Well, my wife has a few of these here. And so she grabbed one, gave him, kind of a cape. But what she likes to do is she has a very soft brush, or sometimes she'll use a towel, but she'll dust off, with the brush or with something to make sure, because at the salon she'll shampoo or condition, or depending on what type of rate is established, she might turn around and it might be free or it might be part of that service. And so being at the house, we only have the kitchen sink, and so she uses the brush to at least make you more comfortable so you shower at home, kind of thing. But I don't know if you've ever had it where you have hair in your neck or something. It can bother you, especially if you had other things you needed to do when you were done with your haircut. And so she dusted him off, got all that off, and it was like, hey, great seeing you. And I think he went to go to dinner, and then it was assumed, from there on, he would shower, do whatever he needed. And so I don't remember how long exactly or which one it was, but that happened on a Friday. And that same Friday, and again, I don't remember which game, but it was one of the Call of Duties had just come out. Maybe it came out Tuesday or whatever day it came out, but I got the game on Friday, and I coordinated with my wife. I was like, hey, can I stay up late? I'm going to play, this new Call of Duty with my friends, and I'm not very good at those, but because your friends are playing, it's like we're all going to link up and have a good time, and maybe, go to the store, get a couple beers, or get something to enjoy it at home, and not necessarily go out, but have a good time with the guys while everybody's at home doing that. She's like, oh, that sounds lovely. And she was like, remember, I have work tomorrow morning, though. Is that going to be okay? And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't foresee it being a problem. I'm going to stay up late, but I mean, as long as you're okay. And at the time, we had two, we now have three, but we had two kids. And my then youngest, she was probably, and again, I wish I knew the exact time frames, but they were both on the younger side. I would say, for the sake of the story, I believe she was, maybe my eldest was 6, and then my middle child was 4. Okay. And again, if it's not 100%, I just don't 100% remember. And I wish I knew which Call of Duty it was. That could help me kind of frame it back. But so I had a great time with the guys, probably got my butt kicked a bunch because, again, I'm not very good. But, there was probably a lot of trash talking. And I remember we definitely stayed up late. We had a good time. And so the next morning, I wake up, I crack my door, and I'm just like, I'm listening, and I hear the girls downstairs, they're watching a Disney movie. And I'm like, okay, well, while they're good and settled, I'll take a shower. I feel yucky. I'm not hungover, but I feel yucky. Let me hop in the shower, kind of take care of everything. And so just start the day fresh. And so I go in, I grab, a towel, from our near our cupboard by the laundry room. So I grab a towel and I think nothing of it. And I go into the shower and I do my shower. And it was definitely needed, just to, again, start the day right, start fresh, a good Saturday morning. And so I wrap up my shower and I'm drying off, and it feels like hundreds of like ants are all over my body immediately as I'm drying off. And it's like tingly, and it's just, I don't feel right. And I look down and suddenly I'm Chewbacca and I'm covered in this dark, coarse hair all over my body, all over. And I'm frustrated because I just finished the shower. And so I look down and I let out this like just frustration, just not loud like angry, but just ugh, like it was gross. And so I'm just like, I'm covered in my friend's hair. Like, this is disgusting. So in frustration, my Chewbacca looking butt, I walk back out, grab another towel, a fresh towel this time. I come back in, I'm frustrated. I take another quick shower, get all that off of me. And I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, like what are the odds it was near the dirty towel? She didn't use the brush this time. She used just a towel to clean him up. Well, that towel accidentally was next to where we keep the clean towels. And I'm an idiot. I thought it fell from that kind of cabinet. And there were other towels nearby, but I thought it was clean. It was definitely not. And so I'm throwing it in the actual laundry room this time. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm coming back up. I'm like, okay, let's start the day off right. Let's start the day off right. What the heck just happened? And so I get some clothes on again. Like I'm trying to leave it in the back of my mind. And so I'm going downstairs and it's very quiet, so quiet. And I'm like, and I look at the TV. TV's no longer on. And I'm like, what is, and I was like, girls? Like, what's going on? And off the corner of my eye, with a banana clip as like a shiv, like the big, like, looks like a toucan kind of bill for your hair. It's like a knife, is my eldest. Like, we thought you left us and we heard a man upstairs that wasn't you. And I'm like, and she's like crying, and I'm just like, honey, like, it was me. Like, what do you mean? You left us. Where were you? And I was like, I was in the shower. That was me. What's going on? We thought we were home alone. We didn't know where you were and all of that. And I was like, baby, I'm so sorry you felt that. Is the front door locked? And then she's like, yeah. I was like, okay. Is the garage door locked? And then she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, one more for good measure. I was like, is the back door locked? And then she's like, and now she's calming down. And she's like, yeah. And then I was like, in a worst case scenario, you were safe. But we heard a man. I was like, well, that was me. Well, what happened? And I'm bringing her up to speed, calming her down. I was like, oh, that was daddy. Like, I was yucky. That's on me. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I scared you. Like, I wasn't meaning to. And I'm calming her down. And I look over, and there's the 4-year-old with another banana clip, but she's holding hers like this, kind of like, all willy-nilly, like just calm as can be. And my eldest is distraught. Like she thought she was home alone. She's defending the house with a banana clip. Don't you come in. And I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, baby, why did you think you were, alone? Well, we couldn't find you, and we didn't know what that noise was. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm here, and I'm getting breakfast ready for them. And I was like, it was funny, and I understand from her perspective, it was probably not a good day and a huge misunderstanding. So I call my wife, and I'm trying to make light of the situation. I'm trying to kind of share this experience with her, and I bring her up to speed, like, so get a load of this. I found the dirty towel and I updating her from the beginning to end. And I was like, but don't you mess with our eldest, because she'll work with the banana clip. You know, the banana clip's a shiv in this house, I guess. And I'm laughing. And then without missing a beat, my wife's like, well, I told the youngest where we were. And then I'm like, oh, that's even funnier. That's even better. And so I pull my youngest aside. I was like, hey, what did mommy tell you this morning? And then she goes, without missing a beat, you're upstairs sleeping. You stayed up late playing video games. And then immediately my eldest like, you didn't want to tell me that? You know, and it was just such a funny moment in time of nothing but misunderstanding. And they're all great sports about it. And I love them to death. And it was just such a funny, like, and I did joke with her about keeping the banana clip. There's so many, you know, again, I have 3 girls now. I'm definitely outnumbered. But I guess anything can defend a house, and you know, banana clips are lethal. But just wanted to share. Hope all is well your way. Hope something of that was funny, or if you could imagine. But yeah, I'll keep the story time, you know, kind of side of things alive. I do have a few more to share that come to mind, or maybe I'll be reminded of others. And then if any of these kind of catch your eye, or there's a discussion to go back to, or, you know, kind of go into more detail on anything, let me know. I'm open to suggestion. Hope all is well your way. Take care. Bye.